quick. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Introduction to Engineering Thinking lesson. I'm so excited to have you guys here. My name is Anya, and I'll be guiding you through today's session. This is part of the Essentials of Engineering Summer Workshop, as you guys know, and we're going to be kicking things off today, Monday, June 30th, and we'll continue this lesson on Wednesday, July 2nd. So real quick, here is a overview of what we're going to be covering in today's session. We're going to be going over what engineering actually is, how engineers think, the engineering design process, and just information about our next session and a short project for y'all to do before we meet again. Real quick, let's start off with a welcome and icebreaker. I would like everyone to go around just saying their name, their age, where they're from, and also answer this question. If you could invent anything to make school easier, what would it be? I can go first. My name is Anya. I'm 17. I'm from Texas, which is in the United States. And if I could invent anything to make school easier, I would probably make some sort of notebook that would like organize my notes for me. Anyone want to go next?
I can go. So, my name is Miriam. I'm 17 and I'm from North Carolina. And I think if I could like invent anything to make school easier, I would probably like invent like some sort of device that could just like provide a summary of like any textbook that I'm reading or like any page of like a book.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna start calling on people. Shristi, do you want to go next? Okay, she said it in chat. Her name is Shristi. She's 16 from Trinidad and Tobago, and she would invent an app for parents, teachers, and alumni and students to be connected. Okay, Brianna, do you want to go?
Sure. Hi, my name is Rihanna and I'm 16 and I'm also from Trinidad and Tobago. And if I had to make an invention, it would probably be like a pen that just writes for you so that I wouldn't have to be writing that much note.
It's a good idea. How about Jinyi?
Hi, I'm Jinny. I'm from New York. I'm 14. Uh, an invention would probably be like something that like it like produces both an electronic and written copy. So like I know there's like things where like after you write it, it like produces an electronic copy, but like sometimes I want it to be written, but then like I have to rewrite it.
Yeah. Okay, and then Gomana? Okay, she said in chat, her name is Gomina. She's 17, or she'll be 17 very soon, and she's from Egypt. All right, let's move on. So, what is engineering? Engineering is the process of using science, math, and creativity to solve real-world problems, and engineers design, build, and improve things that help people, like bridges, airplanes, clean water systems, medical devices, and even roller coasters. But engineers don't really just work with machines, they work with ideas. They ask questions like, how can I make things better, and how do I solve this problem in a smart and efficient way? They look at how things work and they figure out how to make them better, and then they build new systems or tools to meet human needs. Here are a few examples of what engineers do. So, if your water bottle was leaking, an engineer might redesign the cap to make it more secure. If a city had too much traffic, a civil engineer could plan better roads or build better traffic smart or build smart traffic lights. And if someone were to have an amputation or lose a limb, a biomedical engineer could create prosthetics to help them walk or hold objects again. And here are a few types of engineers and what they would typically focus on. So for mechanical engineers, they would focus on engines, machines, and vehicles. For electrical, it would be circuits, robots, and power systems. For civil, it would be roads, bridges, buildings, and just general architecture. Software would be codes, apps, and websites. And then environmental would be just creating solutions to protect nature and cleaning up pollution. And then biomed would be combining medicine and technology to improve human health. Um, and engineers don't just work alone. They actually collaborate together to work on issues because they're all knowledgeable in different areas. So let's say I was launching a Mars rover. I would have a mechanical engineer designing the rover's structure, the wheels, the arms, and the thermal systems. I would have an electrical engineer develop a power system like solar panels and batteries, and the wiring and the circuits, and like also the sensors and the different instruments that the rover might have. A software engineer would write the code that would allow the rover to operate, and aerospace engineers would design the launch vehicle and the entry slash descent and like the landing systems. And they would also calculate like flight paths and orbital mechanics for getting to Mars. And then a systems engineer might coordinate all the subsystems to make sure they're working together seamlessly and manage risk and troubleshoot potential like issues that they might face. A chemical engineer would help with the fuel systems, with the launch, and with the chemical analysis instruments. And a civil engineer may build and test facilities on Earth that simulate Mars's environment just to see how the rover would do on Mars. And they would also assist in constructing like the infrastructure and also planning for like humans to go on Mars. Okay, next we have engineering thinking. And that is actually something that is really important if you want to be an engineer, because engineers think to solve problems, which means that engineers ask themselves how they can make things better and if there's a smarter, faster, safer, or more efficient way to do things. They don't just guess, they think through problems step by step, they test ideas, and they improve them over time. And that includes observing how things work, identifying what's not working, and brainstorming possible solutions, as well as planning and testing a design and working with others to find the best solution. And that ties into the engineering design process, which is something that you're actually going to learn in college a lot if you're planning to go for engineering. And the engineering design process basically goes over step one, they ask themselves what the problem is. Step two, they brainstorm solutions. Step three, they choose the best idea and they map it out. What solution makes the most sense? And then for step four, they create it. They build their solution or their prototype. For step five, they test it out and they try to see how everything works. And then for step six, they improve. They think, how can I make this better? And they fix anything that doesn't work. This process is repeated many times, and engineers are always looking for more ways to improve their designs and make everything as efficient as possible. This lesson was a pretty short one, but our next one is going to be real-world engineering, which is going to be the basic math foundations in physics and mechanical concepts that go into engineering. And that is going to be tomorrow, July 1st at 8 a.m. It's going to be the same time that today's was, and it's going to be hosted by Blake and Vandika. Right after this Zoom meeting, I will send out another Zoom link for tomorrow's meeting. And lastly, we have a little individual project for everyone to do. And so basically for this project, you're going to think of a small problem in your daily life. Some examples are like tangled headphones, carrying too many books, and keeping your water cold in the summer. And then you're going to use the engineering design process to come up with the solution. Basically, what you guys need to do is write a sentence or two for each step of the engineering design process and draw a simple sketch of your idea. This can be hand-drawn or digital. This is going to be due um, on our next session, which is going to be July 2nd. And on that session, we're basically just going to go over your little project and answer any and all questions you guys might have. Here, to finish things off, here are a few last things. This video is going to be uploaded to YouTube today, so feel free to watch it again anytime, especially if you need a little recap of what the engineering design process was. If you have any questions, you can email me or wait for the next Zoom session. And so the next Zoom session is going to be for this topic for Intro to Engineering Design is going to be July 2nd, and tomorrow we have Real World Engineering. And then don't forget to work on your individual projects, and that's all. So thank you guys so much for joining today, and I can't wait to see you guys again tomorrow.